Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? All right, grab your coffee, maybe a snack or two, and let's get into it, okay? So this subscriber, she sent me a text, and she said, please warn those needing distilled water for medical machines to stock up. Spike to $3.99 for store brand is absolutely shocking. Should be like $1.19, $1.39 here at most. Maybe name brands haven't caught up with price increases yet. So she sent a picture, and I'll put that in real quick, of the Alhambra distilled water is $1.59, and the other one is called Best Yet distilled water is $3.99. So if you need distilled water, whether it's for your medical machines or whatever the case may be, please stock up, okay? And she is in California, so that's what she's seeing in her area, okay? So here you go. Okay, so then this subscriber said this is what she preps for when it comes to dairy. The jar, okay, because I'm going to put some pictures up. The jar is her homemade ghee, and the rest she finds on Amazon. Now this stuff is the Hoosier Hill Farm cheddar cheese powder, the real butter powder, sour cream, okay, and then she has been stocking up on her great value powdered milk. So I will put links for all of this stuff in the description box below if you would like to start buying this stuff. Here you go. And this subscriber, she finally started to put together her first aid kit, and she's doing fairly well with it. So she wanted to share the pictures of her first aid kit supplies with us. Here you go. Okay, so there's honestly, you always know to go to the description box below for all of the good links, okay? And this link is about aluminum shortage affecting pet food, even, beer. Aluminum food. Well, we've been finding aluminum shreds in our food anyway, every time we try and open up a can anyway. So aluminum is in short supply, and we know this, right? And it's leading to shortages in both the pet food aisle and your local brewery. And experts say production isn't meeting up with demand. And as pet adoptions are soaring throughout the pandemic, more owners are struggling to find canned food for their furry friends. And some retailers, what they're doing is they're taking measures to eliminate aluminum packaging. But the packaging isn't the only problem here. We don't have enough meat products to go into canned cat food. And the main reason really for this is our workforce, and that's what they're saying. And the aluminum shortage and price increases are also having a major impact on small breweries across the country. Demand for canned alcohol are also skyrocketing through the pandemic as breweries shifted on to go models. Experts predict this issue could last well into 2023. Okay, so then these 2022 supply chain outlook features shortages, high delivery cost. Okay, so roughly 2 years into this drama, this pandemic. Okay, companies are still left wondering when supply chains will get back to normal. Okay, there is no normal anymore. There really isn't. And early indications suggest 2022 will not be that year. Shortages, labor constraints, limited storage space, soaring delivery rates are all expected to continue and create headwinds for shippers this year at a time when demand will remain high. But while supply chain woes are not projected to disappear in 2022, this year could mark a turning point. Companies and suppliers are making big investments to add capacity and are increasingly adopting new technology that will drive efficiencies and lower costs. Let's take a look at some stories that learn more about what experts believe to be the biggest headwinds for the year for shippers, and see how some businesses are getting creative to set up to these new challenges. Okay, so these links will be in the description box below. Okay, because it's very important for us to understand the big picture, right? Why parcel shipping will be even more expensive this year. The shortages, okay, there's 5 products to be in tight supply this year. Technologies to shape smart operations, that's what they want to get into. Warehouse distribution center demands accelerates as e-commerce grows. Billions of dollars set to boost U.S. port projects in 2022. How grocers are managing to the twin pressures of supply chain disruption and inflation. All right. CPGs grapple with a murky 2022 outlook as inflation supply chain weighs on operations. Delivery firms deepen restaurant relationship as growth slows. Retail supply chains were made to be broken. Will brands adapt or revert? These are things that we should be looking at because there's a lot that goes into this. Okay, now as for the 5 products that are expected to be in tight supply this year, okay, let's just look at that one. Okay, the other ones you can look at them yourself if you want to. Stockouts and raw material. Okay, the shortages came to define 2021, and empty shelves pushed the term supply chain into national spotlight. Skyrocketing demand, the pandemic, and other factors driving current supply chain issues aren't expecting to go away this year. And shortages of certain materials and products will likely continue. But as companies get better at forecasting and responding to potential disruptions, their impact could be less pronounced. This might be the year where we reach some sort of predictability, but it's not going to be the year where we completely alleviate ourselves from these shortages. Now, some of the biggest supply chain constraints of 2021 that will continue to create headwinds for companies this year. Sky high demand for computer chips. Like right now, as well as I do, that it's actually cheaper to buy a brand new car than it is to buy a used car. Did you ever think that you would hear something as silly as that? No. So, and that is to keep supply tight throughout the rest of the year. Now, chips are used in everything from cars to household appliances, Widespread shifts among businesses to 5G are placing additional strain on producers. Semiconductor shortages for the past 2 years are expecting to have resulted in revenue misses for more than $500 billion worldwide for suppliers and customers. Semiconductor producers have taken steps to ramp up production, and capital expenditure projects announced before the pandemic are predicted to add even more capacity this year. Still, that won't be enough to meet demand this year. And semiconductor supplier Broadcom, this is pretty much booked all the way through 2022 and even into 2023. Now, tight supply of aluminum, which what we were just talking about, has created problems for the construction industry and for beverage makers who have had trouble getting their hands on enough aluminum cans. Monster Beverage, you've heard of Monster Beverage, they make that energy drink, okay, was not able to fully satisfy increased demand in the third quarter due to can shortages and other supply chain challenges. China, they curtailed production of aluminum and other energy-intensive metals last year as part of its plan to reduce carbon emissions. So you can see that, this is going to be an ongoing issue, okay? It really is. And Lord only knows when it's going to stop, okay? Lord only knows when it's going to stop. So now, if we were to look at this one, okay, how grocers are managing the twin pressures of supply chain disruption and inflation. They're, all across the country, okay, all supermarkets, all grocers, whether it's something as small as a gas station, because they carry groceries, or if you're going to look as big as like Sam's Club, Walmart, things like the stores like that, okay. Carnes Food in Pennsylvania is grappling with rising prices and rotating casts of supply chain shortages, and the lack of control has been tough to swallow. And their chief executive said, we ordered 2,000 cases and we might get 1,200 cases in. It's very frustrating for our customers to explain to them why we can't get exactly the flavors and the sizes that they want. The company is managing as best as it can to combat price increases. Their stores are stocking their aisles with more private label products, which offer low price points. So to deal with the supply shortages, managers are buying surplus quantities of items like toilet paper, pasta sauce, when they can, and they're offering shoppers like limited assortment in strained categories. So that's why we're seeing what we're seeing in stores. Because I know a lot of you had said, I'm seeing different brands in these stores that I've never seen before. Okay, well, this is why. Okay, so there's the answer to the question that we've been asking for a long time. Now, the company is also trying to source more products locally, like pork, which used to come from the Midwest supplier, and it now comes from one that's in-state. Okay, now in May, the grocer will begin sourcing around 2/3 of its beef supply from a handful of local farms that will exclusively supply Carnes store, their supply, okay? So far, shoppers have rolled with the changes, but he's not sure how long it's going to last. The basket is going to get more expensive as the year goes on. But that's happening not just with this supermarket, it's happening with all supermarkets. We used to be able to fill up our shopping carts, go to the checkout, and, you know, only pay maybe $250. Now our baskets are quarter full and we're paying $250, you know. So this is affecting every single one of us. Okay, all the stores are feeling it, just the way that it is, you know. It really truly is. All right, so I wish that I wish that there was, you know, some good news in with any of this, but there really isn't, except for this. And I'll put this in. Mars and Wrigley, they're investing $175 million to expand the chocolate candy plant in Kansas. Bring on the chocolate. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.